Zoe Clark, sugar, I swear I can read your mind sometimes, Grandma Elle said, jolting me out of my daydreaming. But if you don't quit making that face, it's gonna get stuck that way. The ice and the sweet tea Grandma held in one hand clinked as we rocked on the front porch swing, and the hand-knitted afghan she'd draped over our laps swayed with us. What face? Grandma smiled. The one that makes it look like you been sucking on a lemon. It ain't very ladylike, I snorted. I can always count on you to keep it real, can't I, Gram? Grandma stared at me while she rocked, her snow-white curls shuffling in the breeze, her brows slowly stitched together. Keep it real? What does that mean? Never mind, I said and reached for her hand. She smiled as I stroked her thumb with mine and jutted her chin toward the yard that stretched out in front of us. Ain't it beautiful? Grandma asked. Sure is. The fresh-cut grass sparkled in shades of gold as the sun set behind the pine trees that lined the edge of the Clark family farm. Grandma and I had sat together to watch the sunset like this on so many Sunday evenings I'd lost count, but it never got old. You been awful quiet today, baby girl. Penny for your thoughts? I sighed. I'll take all the pennies I can get at this point. Grandma chuckled. Don't you worry your pretty little head, sugar. You'll find work soon enough, I'm sure of it. Besides, anyone who don't hire you is a darn fool. Thanks, Gram. Though I appreciated her support, I wasn't sure I agreed. Besides, it wasn't like journalism jobs in the backcountry of North Carolina were easy to find. After I'd gotten laid off from my last gig in Charlotte, I'd come back to Lumberton with my tail between my legs and moved in with Grandma. Again. Since then, I'd applied online for so many jobs all over the country but gave up when no one called back after 3 months. You know, farm life ain't all bad. Worst comes to worst, you'll always have that, Grandma said, and I scoffed. Right. Lucky me. Grandma sniggered. Oh, come on. We both know you were never meant to stay here shoveling pig poo. There ain't no farm in the world big enough to hold your personality. I knew that from the get-go. I stared her in the eye. What are you trying to say? That you was always meant for big things and this farm ain't ever gonna give you that. I sighed. Tell me about it. Grandma laughed and patted my hand. Keep your chin up, Buttercup. Something'll come along before you know it, just like magic. Trust me, if I knew waving my hand and saying a few silly words would make a job appear out of thin air, I'd do it, no matter how stupid it made me look. It ain't always like that, Zoe. Magic is in the mundane and works in mysterious ways. Or at least that's what your mama used to say. And what do you think she'd say if she could see me now? I'd hardly call my life as an unemployed bum magical. Grandma clucked and shook her head. I think she'd be darn proud of you. And for what it's worth, so am I. So what if you hit a little bump in the road? Who ain't at some point in their life? I shrugged. Fair enough. I'm sure you're right, but I wish I could hear it from Mom herself. And I wish Dad was here to tell me what to do. God, I miss them. Grandma frowned and linked her fingers with mine. I know, sugar. So do I. My parents had died in an accidental car crash on their way home from a date when I was a little girl. I'd slept over at Grandma's that night, and since then, it had been me and her against the world. She was the only family I had left. Grandma searched my face. Something else got you blue? Not really, no. You swear? Please, I couldn't lie to you even if I wanted. Grandma smiled at me over the lip of her glass as she sipped her tea. You got that right. But I can tell something ain't right with you, so whatever it is, spill it. My phone vibrated in my lap, and I jumped, saved by the phone call. I turned it over, saw number blocked on the screen, and automatically went to decline the call, but Grandma stopped me with a slap on my wrist. What in tarnation do you think you're doing? You better answer that. It could be the call you've been waiting for. Oh, come on, Gram. No respectable paper is going to call me from a blocked number. You don't know that. Ain't all you journalists worried about privacy and whatnot? Maybe they've just got a block on their number or something. She had a point, as much as I didn't want to admit it, so I slid my finger across the screen to accept the call. Hello, this is Zoe. Yeah, hello, this is Zoe Clark.